Guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lew. Coming to you live from Accelerate Life University, XLR8Life.com. Coach Lew will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the motivation, the energy, the life, and all the success you really want and deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lew.
All right, guys. Welcome back to Breakthrough with Lew. It is Monday morning. We're in the middle of July. We're in the dead center of summer here. How do you feel? Guys? What are you thinking here? It is Monday. We're in the third quarter of the year already. Where are you at? Check it out. So I got to say something to you this morning, and I want you to just stop what you're doing, look me in the eye here, and hear this. You are more. You are way more. You're like, what do you mean, Coach? You're more. You're more than you're doing. You're more than you think you are. You're more important than you know. And many times people don't really give themselves credit for how much more you are than you believe, right? So let me just give you a little bit of history on this. Okay. Today we're going to talk about the biggest investment you can make. Okay. And now keep in mind what I just said. You are more. You are way more. Okay. We're going to talk about this. So got a quick story for you. A few years back, I'm in West Palm Beach at UPW. And they start talking about business mastery at a Tony event. And, I looked and we were like, I think you really need to do this. And I was like, I know, it's an investment, but my God, this whole business thing is important. It's a huge part of our lives and what we do. How much time do you spend in your business? How much of your life is your business? How much of your identity is your business, right? Let me just pop open this chat window here, guys. So if you're on, give me some input, questions. So what happens? I go to Business Mastery. It is ever living hell boot camp. 5 days of it, 12, 15, 16 hours a day in the convention center. Packed, 12,500 people in this building. And just amazing experience, but grueling and exhausting. What did I get from this business mastery investment? Innovation, tools of innovation. No hands down, I know exactly what I came away with. I didn't come away necessarily with more inspiration, although there was some. I didn't learn how to read KPIs. That I didn't learn. That wasn't something that I walked away with. It was the tools to innovate. Well, now we fast forward to the big C. It's going to eat up the whole world and, shut down businesses and shut down countries. And, what it did give me, what this investment gave me, was the ability to shift, pivot, and grow during a time when people were crushed, destroyed, businesses went under, people let their health go. It was a horrific time back in 2020. We're actually able to shift, pivot, and grow because I invested in going to this business mastery program that taught me the tools of innovation. Saved our business, no hands down. Okay? No hands down. This saved our business. And I could thank Tony Robbins for creating the program, or the speakers that were there, or my team I worked with, or all of it. But really what I should thank is the decision to invest in something that is not just a stock market investment or keep your money in the bank. That stuff is scary because you really have no control over it. What you have control over is stuff that you've learned and the skills that you have. Okay? So I'm going to teach you a little secret today. Okay? What is the one thing what is the biggest and best investment you can make? The investment in you, yourself, your growth, your knowledge, your skills. Because let me tell you, nobody can ever take that away from you. Okay? So investing in myself to go take that class, to go take that seminar, to go take that ever-grueling hell of a boot camp of 5 days. No, it was amazing, but it was grueling. It was grueling. I came back sick. I ended up with a cold because I was just so worn out. I'll never forget the day after it, the morning after it ended. I was sitting on the beach, and there was a girl sitting about 20 foot over, 10, 15 foot over from me, and we were just staring off into the water, and she looks over at me and she goes, "You were at the event, weren't you?" And I'm like, "Yep." And we talked for a few minutes. And funny thing is we connected, switched social media and stuff, and I still watch her, and she actually is doing absolutely amazing in the real estate field, like a shining star in the real estate field. And I'll never forget, because I always kind of chuckle, and I'm like, that's the girl I had that quick talk with on the beach. And after the event, just sitting there decompressing, but I'll never forget, I sounded so raspy, and I was like, oh man, I did it. I pushed myself to the point I caught a cold. But anyway, back to talking about this, okay? The thing is, when you invest in self-improvement, when you invest in you, number one, it can't be taken away. You own it. You own it. Nobody can withdraw it from your bank or fraudulently charge it on your card or say, I'm taking back your memories. Okay, unless you're somebody who's in leadership position in this country. Dude needs help. They need to go get a medical help and get their heads together. But that's a whole different discussion. But nobody can take that away from you. Number two, when you make the decision to own it, it's part of you. The self-investment, this is you now. You are a different person. You are an innovated person. Okay? And the thing with investing in yourself as opposed to the stock market, banking, etc. Speaking of banking, I was on the phone this morning with my buddy Mike. We just had a nice little morning conversation as I was headed in to do the show here. And he was talking about making sure you have paper documentation. This is a little tool, business tool, a personal tool of every asset you have in case, the electronics get zapped. Because in the car industry, in the car auction industry, they just got zapped where there's this software that manages dealerships and stuff. And they got held with ransomware, and they couldn't sell cars, and they couldn't order parts, and they couldn't do anything because this whole program was down. One program cripples an entire nation, an entire industry. See, that is not hack-proof. What is hack-proof is your skills, your knowledge. And thank you, Mikey, for a great example on that. If you're listening, brother, I appreciate you. That was a great way to kind of bring this example to fruition this morning. And yeah, thank you. Gave me an extra example. So it's recession-proof, it's market-proof, it's relationship-proof. Ooh. See, when people self-grow, and I know people and have coached people who are in horrendous relationships and have no self-esteem to get out of, and they justify being beaten, injured, treated bad, all kinds of stuff. And it's like, you deserve more. You're more than this. You are more. And, but they stay in this, well, it doesn't happen all the time type of, whatever the negative is. And it's like, it shouldn't happen ever. There are some things that shouldn't happen ever. But when you get your self-growth, even if you're in a crap relationship, bad. I'm not talking, you don't agree with your spouse on a few things, or, they're a little bit coarse about the way they talk. I'm talking about the bad stuff. But once you grow as you, nothing can touch that. Okay? When you invest in you, nothing can take that away. When you invest in a stock, it can evaporate. When you invest in a business, it could go out of business. But when you invest in you and you have the skills, think about it. Think about it. Even if you get all these skills and you do a business and it's going great and some government regulation wipes your business out, but you have all these skills, but you got to go work for somebody else, but you come in equipped with, this is who I am and what I have to offer, not what I was and what my business was. Different animal. You'll make a much better living than somebody who walks in the door somewhere and goes, well, I really don't have the experience, but, I have a degree. Okay, what's a degree? It is an investment in yourself. Education is totally amazing. I have a degree in social studies, and they want to be an entrepreneur. Well, it might help you a little bit in working with people, but I'm going to look at that and go, that's not, in my business, that's not a degree I want. Now, you got a degree in marketing, and a modern degree in marketing, not even one that's 2 or 3 years old, because that's all gone. But you're a marketing hotshot or even a self-educated marketer in this day and age. Now that you invested in yourself, now I look and go, hey, I want you to work with me. I want you on my team. Okay? Not that you sat 4 years in school learning how to philosophize about something. Okay? And I'm not, whatever your degree is in, I'm not bashing that. But is your degree or your education or even your self-education, how does it qualify you to walk in my door and work for me running my marketing or running my whatever division? That's what I'd want to know. What have you invested in yourself? When somebody comes in and tells me, oh yeah, I'm in this mastermind group and da-da-da-da, I didn't fully graduate college, but I belong to this mastermind group and we're learning this. I'll take that person all day long than the person that's got, degree upon degree upon degree and then stopped educating themselves as soon as they were done with school. I would rather have somebody with a lower degree, hear me on this, with a lot of self-education, a lot of self-directive, and a lot of investment in oneself after the fact. I'll take them. I'll take the person that has a little bit less knowledge and a whole lot more hunger and desire. And if you got lots of knowledge and hunger and desire, it's even better. Okay, again, not knocking traditional education, but sometimes it's not the investment in oneself that you think. Okay, just saying. Take this stuff to the bank. So, with all this said, where are you at? Put it in the chats. Let me know. Message me. Where are you at? Okay, where are you at right now with your investment in you? Where are you at with your investments? You might go, I got a lot in stocks and this, that, and the other. And I might ask you, hey, when was the last time you took a class or a course or, had somebody coach you? You tell me you're feeling a little bit stagnant. Well, I got all these stocks. Maybe you take a little of the money out of the stock and you invest it in you. How much further would you go than just looking at an account and going, okay, it's static? Or right now it might not even be static. We're probably going to see a dip. We're probably going to see a dip in real estate. Most likely we might see a major crash in all financial markets. Watch out. But the investment you make in you can never be taken away. Okay? Unless somebody pops you, knocks you off. I mean, that's, even then when you go to heaven, you got something to reflect back on. So what do you think, guys? What is your next step today in investing in you? Do you begin with your health? Maybe jump into my HEALS course? Wow. What is HEALS? Healthy Eating and Lifestyle Simplified. You see, guys, I am all about simplification. People ask, what kind of coach are you? I'm like, well, broad spectrum. I'm, results coach. I think my real terminology for you is I'm a simplification coach. If I can take 10 years of knowledge, 20 years of knowledge, something that's overwhelming and you it's so hard to wrap your head around, and I can simplify it into an hour or 2 hours. If I can compress a decade into 2 hours or a day of teaching or coaching you, wow, How cool is that? Well, Heals is 30 days of health and wellness. And it's not go on the newest fad diet or anything. It is simply it covers everything. It covers dietary, it covers exercise, it covers rest, stress relief, sleep, all these little hacks that when you put them together, you go, well, this is easy. I'm going to sleep anyway. Why don't I make sure I'm getting up in the right sleep cycle? I am going to eat anyway. Why would I not eat something that makes my body feel better, not worse? Why would I not choose organic Life Boost coffee instead of commercial, pesticide, nasty, chemical-ridden coffee? Why would you do that? Because you're investing in you. Oh, it might be 10 cents or 20 cents a cup more when you average out the price. Actually, if you go to like somewhere like Star Schmucks or the coffee shops, it's way more expensive than me brewing this baby stuff at home. Now, the bag is more expensive than the normal bag of coffee, but I don't understand why, it's kind of funny. I'm paying more for less. And you're like, what are you talking about? I'm paying more for less chemicals, or no chemicals, no pesticides, no molds, and the beautiful taste. Why would you not have it all for a few cents more, or obviously less than going through the coffee drive-through somewhere? You pay $7 for a cup of coffee over at one of the coffee shops. I recently went over and I was, oh yeah, how much is that? $7.95 for a little baby cappuccino. And it wasn't that good. It doesn't cost me no $7.95 for this. Okay? So just saying. I like to call it like it is, guys. And the flavor. When you same thing with meats, if you eat meat. Good grass-fed filet compared to a $5.99 porterhouse or something that you get in the store, but it might even be manufactured. See what I'm saying here, guys? Listen to me. All right, so what else can you do? What else can you do to invest in you? Join a community. And you might be like, well, what do you mean? I live in a community. Your church, your house of worship, no matter how you call that. Or I'm going to make a recommendation. We'll stick these in the chat as well. Click. Get in the click with me. What is click? Remember growing up, if you were in the click at school, you were cool. If you weren't, oh, the click was such a bad thing. Well, this is a good click. It's Coach Lew Inner Circle. Dudes, guys, gals, we meet once a month live, virtual, on Zoom, and have a training and live meeting and interaction where it's not, you don't just sit there and listen like the shows. You can get on. I can bring you on to talk. You can ask questions. It's amazing. It's a community. It's a meeting every month, plus weekly trainings, plus book reviews where we dig into book of the month and then really dig into what it's been. Like Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. Absolutely amazing book. But you know what? The book's kind of thick, and you read it and go, "That's a good idea." You get together and we discuss it and dissect it and go, how do we put this into real time, yes, today action? And you go, things that make you go, we have ideas from each other. Yeah, how cool is that? And all kinds of trainings, and just it's an amazing community for less than a cup of coffee a day. Way less if you're driving through somewhere. But it's amazing. And yeah, it's my inner circle. I want you in it. I want to interact with you. I don't want you just listening to me and going, hey, here's some good ideas, or even once in a while implementing something. I want you to get involved. We're a community here. You might go, you know what, Coach, I'm in an absolute poop storm of life. Don't even know what's next. I'm stressed out all the time. I really don't know what to do. I need to talk to you one-on-one. Guess what? We have that available too. What a way to invest in you. Now, I'm going to give you a disclaimer on that. And this is not good for me business-wise, but it is good for you because it's the way it should be. If you go for therapy, there's nothing wrong with therapy and psychologists and that, except for most of them are on some kind of pills to keep their heads straight. Did I say that? There are some good psychologists out there, guys, and there's some really cruddy ones. But you got to go once a week for the next 82 months to solve one childhood problem. Or one, my dad yelled at me, or wasn't there, or, my mother drank too much, or, okay, using personal examples, whatever. But, you could sit there for months and months and months rehashing and rehashing, or you can get down to it and do some coaching. And again, we take months and years and compress it into days and hours. Would you not, if you've had a trauma, and this is by no means to dismiss some of the horrendous traumas people have dealt with in childhood, adulthood, and everything else, but if you dealt with it this many years, do you really want to drag it on for more years, or would you like to get it handled here now and get past it? Okay. And you might say, well, it was the loss of a loved one. You don't just get past that, but you change the meaning inside of what it means to you. Work with me on this one. I know that people get a little defensive. You lose a loved one, you're crushed. You didn't want that. You weren't in the process of getting divorced or something, and you're going, oh, thank God they're gone. No, you really, maybe you had this great marriage and your spouse passes, or you had this great bond with your parent and they pass, or God forbid you lose a child. I don't even know how to describe what that would feel like. And thank God, and I hope I never do have to experience that. And I hope you haven't. And if you have, there are ways to help this. But you can live the incident and the time and over again and live in the pain, or you can learn to shift that when you think of your lost loved one, your memories and your feelings are those of love and the great times you had together, as opposed to trying to hold on to the pain. See, because there's always two sides. There's always the pain and the pleasure. Quick story for you. We recently lost somebody in our business community. Really good guy. Really just light up the room when he walks in. His family loved him. His kids. It's an amazing guy. And in speaking with his cousin, we were talking, and they're crushed. I mean, he was too young to go. God, I don't always know why you do what you do, but so in talking, his cousin mentioned how the family was reunited in different members, and for their privacy, I'm not going to get specific, but I did have a comment to make. I looked and said, even in the tragedy of his death, he brought massive goodness, relatives that haven't spoken in years, relatives that haven't been together. All of a sudden, the tragedy brought this greatness. And I saw in my friend's eyes a lifting of that pain. Does it make it just okay? And it's like, okay, everything's fine. No, you still miss your loved one. But the fact of the matter was, what was so beautiful about the situation is just seeing a different take and a positive twist on, we lost somebody to that loss united the rest of us. What a concept. What a concept if we took that beyond just loss of a loved one, and we took it right into our own communities and our own neighborhoods and our own country, where instead of not appreciating each other, we found ways to unite. Doesn't mean, unification does not mean that you change your opinion, shut your mouth, or, succumb to something that you morally don't want to be or support. No. It just means that you look beyond some things with people and go, well, what is good about somebody that I don't share the same political or religious or this or that beliefs? What's good about them? And when you ask that and you look for it, you start to go, wow, actually 90% of this person's pretty damn good, except for, but you can tend to go, Well, you know what? Maybe I'll overlook the little bit of the differences and realize we're all Americans and we're all in this together, and you need to step up and you need to help people in your own community. When somebody falls down, you don't go, call the governor, he'll take care of you. Call the president, he'll take care of you. See where that's going to get you. We got a good governor in our state, and he does do a lot for the people here. But the fact of the matter is you when somebody's house burns down, your neighbor's house burns down, you don't call the governor, you don't call the president. They're not going to do a damn thing for these people. You can. How about, wow, you got an extra bedroom? Let them stay with you while their house gets rebuilt. Or, you got clothes and the kids' clothes, your closets are expanding and blowing up and, popping out, and you only wear the same 5 outfits and you have 100 of them. Part with 10 outfits so these folks have some clothes. Go in that pantry and all that extra food you have. Put a bag together. Get these folks fed for a week. Okay, you see where the real American spirit comes from is what you do in your community when somebody needs a hand up. I am not about handouts. I am not about handing a welfare check to an 18-year-old that sits there and puffs on their joint and smokes pot while they play video games all day and knows how to play the system. No, that should be cut out, stamped out, done. From a young family and the husband gets killed at work in the line of duty or something, and the wife's left with 3 kids because she was, her job was being, the homemaker, taking care of the kids, the most important damn job in the world, and she has trouble getting help. But that 18-year-old sitting there smoking pot going, I don't feel like working and I've learned how to work a system, that's bullshit. And that has nothing to do with race, religion, any of that, guys. You got the lazy poop bags of all kinds, sizes, and shapes, and you got the motivated, great human beings of all kinds, shapes, colors, forms. That is something we all got to realize. And there is something, unfortunately, that there are factions in political areas and that would love to see racial dissent, religion dissent, social status dissent, all kinds of stuff. Trust me. We as Americans, walking down the street, neighbors living next door to each other, we don't look at each other differently. We don't sit there and judge. Think about it. You might have grown up in an environment where, things were said or people didn't believe, that you look past the differences and try to look for the commonalities. However, you got to just sit there and go for a second. The thing that's always hated, that I've always hated, and I'm gonna say this, and sometimes it makes people squirm a little, but there's always been that. Well, I don't like such and such or so and so, but I have this one friend who's this or that, and they're cool, but I don't like XYZ. So why do you make the exception for your friend? Because you see past a stereotype. Ooh, interesting. Again, it doesn't mean, I have my opinions. I'm not going to tell you that, some of the goofy crap that's going on these days and some of the things that people are trying to force on kids and stuff. I say live your life, leave your kids alone. If you can't get a tattoo till you're 18, you should not be able to drink, smoke, do drugs, change your body or any of that. When you're 18, you are an adult. You are fully capable of making your own decisions. Okay? Till then, we need to protect our children. And that I will always say. Give the kids the proper upbringing, and whatever they decide when they're adults, you support them. If your kid doesn't make the same choices as you don't disown them and hate them. However, till they're an adult, they should be treated like children. I think that's one thing we can all agree on. And if not, you got mental issues. If you look at a child as a full adult and you think that it's okay that, children, the 5-year-old was in love with me. No, that guy's psycho nuts. Get rid of him. Come on. That is not, that's not even reasonable. Okay? But in the long run, again, in our world, stop letting the media, stop letting people that would benefit from us not liking each other or not at least respecting. You don't have to like your neighbor. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to change your political beliefs to match your neighbor or take down whatever flag you fly in front of your house because your neighbor doesn't like it. Okay, well, maybe you don't like your neighbor's flag, but you don't go, you need to take that down. Okay? So my whole point to it is look for the commonality. Look for the decency. Most people, except for the criminally insane or the really dirtbaggy type of people that would take advantage of their own mother, most people have a good common decency even if they don't agree upon everything with each other. Can we agree on that? I know it's a little bit of a rant, but I think this needed to run into it. Back to the whole concept right here and now. You're going, where'd you go sideways with this? I didn't go sideways. Investing in yourself invests in your community and your world. When you become a more understanding, educated, and I'm not talking just educated in college, I'm talking educated in psychology, educated in human skills, educated in taking care of yourself and health and wellness, etc. The more you do that, the more that shines into your community, shines into our world, and there's more of a unified world. Again, does not mean you got to change your beliefs, tone yourself down, or anything else. Nobody expects that. I totally am like, okay, you know what? If we disagree on a subject, what do I respect about you? What do I agree with you? Okay, we don't on this. Well, all right, I see maybe where you're coming from. You see maybe where I'm coming from. You diffuse that a little bit and you go, oh, carry on. We're not enemies. Think about it. Pretty cool stuff, guys. Anyway, I have gone way over this morning on the show. I gave you a promise of shorter shows. However, this week I'm part of a very groundbreaking event, so I am going to, this is it for the week, Breakthrough with Lew Monday. All other shows are suspended till next week because I'm going to be involved in the event all week and all weekend, so bringing you back even better material, yet more material, so it's going to be an amazing once-in-a-lifetime event to be at. So I'm going to have more tools for you next week. But in the best interests of not cheating you, of doing a half-ass show for the rest of the week and not cheating myself out of the education I'm going to get, you will see me next Monday morning, and then we're back to our usual show schedules. Guys, check out those links. Connect with me. Live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams. And we'll see you on the next roundabout. Love y'all. Have a great day.
Ready to take it to the next level? Next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lew himself. As Coach Lew always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dream.